When you have used up all of your strength and determination, how will you keep up the fight? One of the most difficult things everyone has to learn is that for your entire life, you must keep fighting and adjusting if you hope to survive, no matter who you are or what your position is. You must keep fighting for whatever it is you desire within your heart to achieve. If someone is not aware of this contest and expects otherwise, then constant disappointment occurs. People who fail sometimes do not realize the simple answer to everyday achievement is to keep fighting. Health, happiness, and success depend upon the fighting spirit of each person. The big thing is not what happens to us in life, but what we do about what happens to us. We have all had our resilience tested, and you begin to wonder about what you have to do to summon the will to keep going, so that you can win, persist, and in the end, succeed. Whether it's dealing with unemployment, a difficult job, or personal tragedies, here are insights that can help you. First of all, whenever you face a difficult situation, make sure you recognize it as soon as possible. Sounds obvious, but you have to admit you have been in denial at one point or another in your life. Once you acknowledge it, you will move through those stages of grief, through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance very rapidly. When you stay oblivious or live in denial, things get worse, often in a hurry. But when you know you are in trouble, you can act. Okay, you admitted you have a problem, so what's next? I'm going to tell you a very short story. Pay attention to its meaning. Do you know what the major cause of death among scuba divers is? It is their own survival instinct. They drown and they still have air in their oxygen tanks. Seriously, how is this possible? Well, something goes wrong. They panic and instinctively pull the regulator out of their mouth. It appears that certain people suffer an intense feeling of suffocation when their mouths are covered, which led to an overpowering impulse to uncover the mouth and nose. The victims had followed an emotional response that was, in general, a good one, to get air. But it was the wrong response under the special, non-natural circumstances of scuba diving. Now, just a brief second of clear thinking tells you this is a very bad idea while diving. But when you panic, you cannot think clearly. The point is, rash decision making rarely delivers optimal results in everyday life either. You should learn to acknowledge difficult situations, remain calm, and evaluate things rationally so that you can make a plan and act. Now, you have to understand that there is a battle going on between your unconscious mind and your conscious mind. To understand why the battle has even started, listen to me carefully. Your perception of yourself can be way off. Think your friends would agree with you on what you are really like? Actually, they would agree more with each other on your personality than you would agree with any one of them. Your conscious mind does not have any direct access to everything going on in your unconscious mind. How do you determine what others are like? You watch and guess and make up a story. Well, your conscious mind does the same thing with your unconscious mind, except that your conscious mind is very overconfident about its stories. It's okay, your unconscious mind is still you, but it is not the you that is the voices in your head. To be fair, the voice in your head, your conscious mind, has a really, really tough job. Actually, it has two jobs, and they are often at odds with one another. Job 1 is to provide as accurate a vision of yourself and the world as possible. Job 2 is to keep you happy. You can compare this to giving advice to a friend about their bad behavior. You want to be accurate enough that you can help them course correct, but you do not want to make them feel like a terrible person either. Now, you can understand that's why it can be a tricky balancing act. Also, seeing yourself with rose-colored glasses within limits is a good thing. Keeps your self-esteem up and depression away. But too rosy and you start saying things like, I bet I'm a natural at skydiving, I do not need lessons. So, what does all of this have to do with resilience? In fact, you may be feeling a lot less resilient now that you realize that the voice in your head cannot always be trusted. Knowing that you have an unreliable narrator inside your skull can be a good thing. The pain isn't as bad as you think, but there is still pain. So, what is the first line of defense? Actually, it's your unconscious mind. Like a superhero, it will come to save the day. You have felt awful before. Your conscious mind said that the pain would never end, said that the pain would never go away, but it did. As the maxim goes, time heals all wounds. Actually, that's not true. Your psychological immune system heals all wounds. You mentally grow up enough to realize the wound was nothing but an illusion created by none other than yourself. Think about your body. You get the flu, but after a few days, your immune system gets to work and knocks the hell out of the bug that infected you. Honestly, your unconscious mind actually does a similar thing when life throws you a curveball. It will put things in perspective to help you rationalize and tell a happier story. You might think in advance that if your significant other left you, that your heart would be broken, and that it would take you years to get over it. But that psychological immune system kicks in sooner or later, and you begin to have thoughts like, well, maybe we were not meant for each other. It enables us to recover more quickly than we think from negative outcomes. Have hope and hang in there. Your unconscious mind needs some time to get its emotional white blood cells going, but they will kick in, I promise. Now, I know what some people are thinking. Weeks have gone by, months have gone by, and I still feel awful. I wonder if I'm psychologically immunocompromised. I'm not feeling better at all. Yes, some emotional problems, just like some illnesses, they do not heal on their own. A bad breakup, losing a job, the death of a loved one, they can be devastating and difficult to bounce back from. Okay, enough relying on passive approaches. We need some emotional antibiotics, which we will discuss on our second video. Thank you guys for listening.